It's not called musky fishing, it's called musky hunting. And if you've spent any time chasing these elusive predators, you know that finding a way to trigger a strike isn't just the mission, it is the obsession. In this episode, you'll be joining me on day 3 of a hunt for a big northern Wisconsin muskie that gave away her location, so of course, I kept knocking on the door in hopes that she would finally answer and give me a chance to slime the net. Hunt with passion. Never stop casting. Chase the dream. Welcome to Season 8 of Musky Mastery Outdoors, brought to you by Joe Bucher Outdoors, #1 in big game fish products. Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen, and by Crow Rock Lodge, the great Canadian fishing experience. Moonrise, a stiff southeast wind, storm systems fading into the distance, and barometric pressure changing. The perfect recipe for sealing the deal on a stubborn muskie. But after my first time through the spot, fishing my trusty 500 series Bucher tail, I was quite surprised that I didn't even see my target fish. But I was certain she was still holding, and hungry, so I doubled down, moved in tighter, and snapped on a slot master. What happened next was nothing short of incredible. Holy shit. Wow. That is big. Okay. Wow, that's a hog, guys. Oh yeah. Wow, that's a big fish. Hunted this muskie for 3 days, guys. Finally got her on Moonrise. Goldilocks slot master getting the job done. Came through the spot once. Second time, we got her to go. We'll put this beast back and we'll fill you guys in on all the details. Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to another muskie segment here on the Musky Mastery YouTube channel. Welcome to day 3. Day number 3 of an incredible hunt for a beautiful, big old bruiser of a Wisconsin muskie right there, guys. I hope you enjoyed that battle in the wind. I was not enjoying it in the moment because I had my hands full with spot lock and just getting that fish in the net, but we'll talk more about that in a second. The most important thing that I really want to break down to you and why this victory is so important is guys, it's day 3. I mean, this is a major win on what has been a very challenging season so far, with cold temperatures and you know, frost warnings and just terrible wind and rain. It's just been tough. So how did we end up bagging this fish on day 3 of a hunt? Well, to make a long story short, on day 1, I saw this fish physically. I saw the width across the head, and I said, I really want that muskie. It's a beautiful fish, and she followed, she nipped, she wouldn't commit. Day 2, even a little less active, a follow on a top rater, but just didn't commit. A lot of side imaging, and went after her on the major, went after her on the minor, didn't happen, okay? So today, again, I'm like, you know what? We're gonna try this fish one more time, and I went on this muskie on the minor period. It was moonrise, and the first lure that I threw on that spot, of course, is, you know it well, 500 booker tail and grape flame. I figured that muskie was just going to eat this thing and it was going to be game over, show in the can. But it didn't happen, and I went through that spot with old grape flame and I didn't see the doggone thing. But I was, you know, honestly frustrated. I said, there's no way. I said, this fish is on that spot. I know she didn't eat grape flame, but I'm like, I'm just moonrise. We got a southeast wind. We got kind of storm clouds. It's hot. Today's the first warm day. And interestingly, by the way, it's the first day this muskie season we have had water temps crack the 70-degree mark. So that's very significant. So think about that for a second. But the really cool thing about this, and again, I'm talking hunting instincts, is I said, you know what? I just don't buy it. Just because I went through once and I was expecting a really aggressive reaction out of this fish, it's just not how it works all the time. And I said, you know what? That is not it on this hunt. No way. So I just kept the cameras up. I circled on back and I snapped on the old Goldilocks Slot Master here. And the reason I put this on, and the reason I took grape flame off, is I said, you know what, I'm certain this big muskie is here. Maybe she's just up a little tighter. So this time, I actually just, I left some of my waypoints and my old tracks behind, and I really got up into that spot. Because again, I was convinced that muskie was still there. She was. So I threw that Slot Master in there as the wind was just kicking my butt, and all of a sudden, she just was tracking on the Slot Master, and I was like, "Wow, there she is! I can't believe I got her to come out of the, you know, out of the woodwork, so to speak." And went into that figure 8, and at first I thought she was gone. Very interesting that she actually came back as the boat drifted away. I kind of kicked that bow back into position in that heavy wind. And I think maybe 2 figure 8s later, and she absolutely clobbered it. So, moral of the story is, guys, sometimes when you've got an active fish on a spot, one pass, especially if you're fishing solo or even if you're fishing with whoever your muskie partners might be, sometimes one pass just is not enough, especially when you know the fish is there and you know that this fish has been active. You've got to sometimes think outside of the box and take a different approach. If I had just said, oh, you know what, nothing hit the Grape Flame 500, the old killer, you know what, we're gonna move on, I would never have caught this fish, and that big muskie may in fact have moved on and set up somewhere else on a different spot. So sometimes you have to trust your hunting instincts and, you know, just use a little bit of creativity and find a way to get that fish to strike. Again, the Slot Master in this case was critical. She was really, you know, tight to the cover, really tight to those weeds, and we got her. One thing that I'll point out before I leave you, and we got to keep going because there are some storm clouds in the distance here, and I got a couple other muskies that are bagging to be fished for. That fish was, you know, caught in heavy wind, right? What do you do when you're facing heavy wind? Hitting spot lock is kind of a risky thing, right? Because once you hit spot lock, that propeller, that prop on your lower unit is going to be moving, and you don't want to get your line caught in that prop. So I had to do it in this case, because if you don't hit spot lock in the situation I was just in, you run the risk of the boat drifting away from the muskie, and it makes netting a muskie almost impossible. And so it's the risk reward there. I hit spot lock so that I could get to the fish. And I tried to fight that fish in the rear of the boat as much as possible. I tried not to bring her up to the front if I could, and I was able to do that, and thankfully she was hooked really well. So there you have it, guys. I'm gonna leave you with that. A couple really cool tips here on day 3 of a hunt for just a beautiful, big old fat Wisconsin trophy there. So I really hope you enjoyed this muskie segment as much as I've had putting it together. And as always, thanks for watching.